The Spurs defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 132 to 119. And I have to say, as a Spurs fan, I was happy to get this win because it never gets old seeing the Spurs beat the Lakers. The Lakers historically have always been the team I've hated the most because of the history between the Spurs and the Lakers over the years. So this was an awesome win to have. And one thing that really stood out to me in this game was early on the Spurs pushed the pace at this intense, high speed, breakneck type of offense. And the Lakers were always like a step behind. They couldn't keep up with the Spurs. Spurs have a lot of explosive guards in Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, and then you got perimeter players like Keldon Johnson, Vassell, who can go off at any time. Grant Vassell didn't play good in this game, but the Spurs have so many guys on the perimeter that can go off, combined with having three guards who can penetrate and get inside the paint very easily, which always leads to opportunities for others to get easy buckets. And the Lakers really had no defense for the Spurs when it came to their elite guards being able to get into the paint at will, either scoring in the paint or creating open shots for other guys on their team or just getting open layups for other guys. They just had no answer. And I think that's going to be an Achilles heel for the Lakers all year. They can win a lot of games simply because Luka is just that great. But for them to have a shot at even winning a title, they have to get better at defending teams with slashers, guys who can get to the paint easily. I didn't see really much of rim protection in this game from DeAndre Ayton. He was just non-existent on the defensive end. I didn't see anything. On the offensive end, he was decent. He got some easy buckets, but defensively, he wasn't there. I would say Rui wasn't really that good defensively. He had his moments. Surprisingly for the Lakers, I would say Marcus Smart was pretty good defensively. I saw him frustrate Fox quite a few times into turnovers throughout this game. So he was good at forcing turnovers and playing defense. But he's like the only guy on the Lakers perimeter that could play defense, while the rest of the team, they couldn't. Luka is an awful defender. There were so many times when I saw when he was isolated with either Castle or Harper that once he got switched on them, they easily scored on him, taking him to the hole, and there was just nothing he could do about it. That shows you even when he's in shape, he's an awful defender. He's like a traffic cone that I don't know what the Lakers can do to fix that. He can't play defense. And I just say Austin Reaves is not a good defender either. I saw it quite a few times when he was switched on guys like Fox, Harper, or Castle, and he wasn't really able to stop them when they got to the hole or they could get by him easily. So the Lakers really have a lot of black holes when I look at them defensively on their perimeter. Like you have Austin and Luka, who are bad defenders. LeBron's now a terrible defender at old age. That's another thing with LeBron. He really couldn't guard anybody. Granted, he had a few blocks in this game, but I think those blocks really hide how good his defense truly is, because there are plenty of times where he was beaten to a spot on the court easily by a Spurs player and they got whatever they wanted, or they drove by him without any resistance. So I definitely feel LeBron's a really bad defender at his age. And then you just factor it in with Luke and Austin being bad defenders, and it just creates a lot of black holes where if they run into a team like the Spurs that have more than one guy who's a slasher and can get to the hole easily, they're in trouble. And this is something the Lakers have to be concerned about. I don't think there's any quick fixes. The other thing I would say in this game for the Lakers is that that Austin Reaves didn't play well at all, and this is the second game in a row since coming back, being paired with LeBron, that he hasn't been able to play at a high level like he's been playing throughout the season. I think the last game he only had like 13 points. This game only 15 points. So the last two games he's only averaging like 14 points when you do the math. This game he shot 6 of 16 which let me just do the math here to calculate how bad of a percentage that was. I'm just going to run the numbers. Just give me a second or two. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's 37%. That's not going to cut it. So, and he shot like a worse percentage last game. He was like, I think 3 of 13. So he's shooting subpar percentages these last 2 games. In this game from 3-point land, he was 2 of 6, 33%, which is poor shooting for him. He has to get back to how he was playing before originally. And I think there is some frustration now between him and LeBron. You can just feel the chemistry isn't there. So I'm not going to fully blame it on Austin. I do think LeBron is sabotaging him by being there. He's disrupting his flow. I don't think LeBron is willing to take a backseat to Austin Reaves, and he's going to resist. And it's very clear from that interview his agent had with Max Kellerman yesterday about suggesting that Austin take a 6-man type of role. That I think that was rich signaling to everybody. LeBron's not going to take a backseat for Austin. So I think he's going to continue to sabotage Austin throughout the season because I don't believe LeBron wants to be a third option. That LeBron doesn't even like being a second option, but he can do that, but he can't be a third option. And I just think in this game, he did sabotage Austin Reaves to some degree. I also think LeBron sabotaged the Lakers to a large degree in this game because he cannot keep up with a frenetic pace. And with the Spurs playing a frenetic pace, it forced the Lakers to play slower simply because LeBron cannot keep up. So it's like he's holding them back from being able to keep up with a team who forces them to play at a frenetic pace. It got so bad, JJ was having the Lakers foul the Spurs left and right. During this game, the Spurs shot actually more free throws than the Lakers. They shot 36 free throws, while the Lakers shot 23. That is considered abnormal in the sense because the Lakers have led the league in free throws this year, but the Spurs were able to get more free throws in this game. And the reason for that was because the Lakers had to foul them so many times to keep up, to be able to set their defense, that they just couldn't keep up. And it just gets magnified when LeBron was out there. They had to foul, which was pretty funny. JJ was shouting for them to foul left and right. So if you have a fast, quick team, like I said, that can get to the hole very easily, then the Lakers are in trouble. Especially if the team has more than one perimeter guy that can do it. Like the Spurs had 3 in Fox, Castle, and Harper. That's just a terrible matchup. But I think in some ways this game probably was a blessing for the Lakers in the sense because if they had won, they would have played OKC and they would have gotten curb stomped the next game. Oh, national television, probably by 30 or 40 points, just being honest. So it's probably a blessing for the Spurs playing OKC. Without Victor, I don't think they can beat them. And even with Victor, I still think it'll be a very hard game. So not really expecting much out of the Spurs the next game. Hopefully they can just make it competitive and they don't get curb stomped. But we'll see. I don't have anything else to say about this game.